Hi, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video, we will talk about the volume of solid revolution using circular ring method. So suppose we have a region R, and then yung region natin dito is bounded by, let's say, y equals f of x, another y equals g of x, and the lines x equals a and x equals b. So this is quite different from the previous video because yung bound ng region natin on the previous one is yung isang f of x, then the x-axis. So what if hindi siya y equals 0 yung sa baba na bound? So instead, we have another function, g of x. Okay, so what would happen? So yung mangyayari doon, your interval will still be in AP kasi ang mangyayari, if you have this graph here, so kunyari this is your f of x, ganyan. And then another is this one. This is your g of x. And then this is your line. So that's x equals a. And then x equals b. So ang mangyayari dito, you have the interval AB. Yan. Okay. Now, given from this interval, let's say we'll partition your interval. So ang mangyayari, we have the partition D. So this is partition of your AB. Yan. Come on. So, pinapartition mo yung interval mo like this. So, this is a finite partition lang. So, pag sinabi natin finite partition, ibig sabihin, if this is x sub 0, so, kunyari, this is your x sub n. So, finite n lang. So, the next for that is x sub 1, parang ganon. So, you have now the x sub I partition. Now, from that partition, let us say for each I, from 1 to n, ang gagawin natin, we choose, thank you so much, come on, the psi sub I. So, yung psi sub I mo, andun siya sa sub-partition mo. Kasi di ba this is interval, I'm sorry, it's sub-interval. So, nagpa-partition ka, so yung kasunod dito, di ba, this is x sub 1, yan. This is x sub 2. So, you have a sub-interval, x sub 0 to x sub I. So, that is x sub, parang ganito siya, x sub I minus 1 to x sub I. So, isipin mo, this is x sub 0, this is x sub 1, or x sub 1, this is x sub 2, and so on. So dahil nag-choose ka ng I sub I, so bali, kunyari, dito ako kukuha ng interval natin, sub-interval natin ha. So pag ganun siya, no? Yan. Parang meron na tayong rectangular strip. So this is your x sub I. This is your x sub I minus 1. So we pick the psi sub I here. So ibig sabihin, ang mangyayari dyan, you're actually substituting the psi sub I to the functions that are the bound of this rectangle. So sa taas, alam natin that is f of x. So yung x natin is equal to psi sub I. So in other words, this bound here is the f of psi sub I. And then this bound here is the g of psi sub I. Yan. So ibig sabihin, if I wanna revolve that, let us say gusto ko siyang ipa-revolve sa x-axis. Kaso yung x-axis natin dito, hindi siya part sa region, di ba? So pag ipapa-revolve ko, may puwang dyan from here. Yan. So ang mangyayari, pag iikot yan, magiging ganito. Let's say there is another, tama ba yung drawing ko? Parang may another distance here similar to this. And then this is where the rectangle starts. And then that is ganon. Bale, ito yung reflection niya. For this is the reflection. And for this is the reflection. So this is now your new rectangle here. So pag i-connect mo yan, ganyan, pag ganon. So parang may parang may ano ka, circular. So ito yung lalabas nun. Parang ganito siya. Sorry with my drawing ha. Parang ganito siya. Yan. So may butas sa gitna. Yan. Kasi paano maging may butas? Kasi in the first place, nagre-revolve siya on the x-axis eh. Tapos, yung x-axis hindi part ng region. So parang isipin mo, this is the x-axis, bali may ganito. Sorry, may papel tayo. Okay, may ganito. So pag iikot yan, ganyan, pag ganun. So yung part na to, wala tong portion. So parang may puwang siya. Okay. So what does it mean? It's still a cylinder. Parang cylinder pa rin siya na nakahiga, pero walang part sa gitna. Okay, so ang mangyayari doon, if we are interested to get the volume, di ba yung volume ng cylinder is pi r squared height. Pi natin andun pa rin, so this is V sub I kasi portion of the cylinder yan. And then, yung radius natin, alam na natin that this is the radius. Yan. So, mangyayari, this is f of psi sub I squared minus, tama ba? G of psi sub I squared. And that is, and then yung height natin is the width of the rectangular strip. And alam natin that is x sub I minus x sub I minus 1. And that's equivalent to the delta of x sub I. Yan. So, this is your volume sub I, di ba? So, in other words, the volume of the solid generated by that is actually taking the limit of your partition as approaches to 0, and I'll take all the sum of pi of f of psi sub I squared minus g of psi sub I times delta of x sub I from 1 to n. So n ha, kasi may mga n partitions naman, di ba? Tapos, by definition, this is equal to, mag-i-integral tayo dyan, di ba? Ilalabas ko muna yung pi, so I have pi, and this is the integral of f of x squared minus g of x squared. Eto, dx na yan, di ba? So, ano yung interval natin? Di ba that is from A to B? So, this is now the volume of the solid revolution. Okay, so to summarize the above discussion, we will have the following theorem. So, we call this a circular ring method. Or actually, some books would call this as yung parang laruan, like yung sa bata pa tayo, batang 90s, like ginaganon. Yung may candy nga na wrapper. Washer. They call it as a washer method. Kasi mukha siyang washer eh. Di ba kung titingnan mo yung drawing, pag ganun siya. Sorry, ang pangit ang drawing. So parang ganun siya. Yan. So may butas sa gitna. So that is a washer method or circular ring. So the theorem says here as a summary of the discussion earlier that if you have functions f and g that are continuous, so remember yung kanina pinakita natin, they are actually continuous on a closed interval AB. And assuming that the f is once greater than a g of x, and then your g of x is assumed to be a positive function in this case, for every x on the closed interval, and if S is the solid obtained by revolving about the x-axis, so this case happens when you are actually revolving on a line which is not part of the region, then the region bounded by the following, yung kaninang pinakita natin on the discussion, this one here, is given by this formula. Yan. That's it. So yun yung napag-discussan natin kanina. Let's consider, for example, so let R be the region bounded by curves y equals x squared, then the 2 minus x squared. So find the volume of the solid generated by revolving R about the line y equals -2. So una natin gagawin dito muna is sketch muna natin yung itsura niya. Remember the first is y equals x squared. So this is actually equation of a parabola. So kung ganito siya, so let's review your analytic geometry. And itsurang ito, yung y equals x squared, yan yung equation of the parabola that opens up. Kasi positive naman tong coefficient ni y eh. So parang ganun siya. Yan. Kunyari, ang ganda ng drawing ko. Yan. And then, yung pangalawa naman, it's still a parabola. Tingnan mo ha. That's y equals 2 minus x squared. So if I arrange this to here, magiging x squared equals negative y plus 2, which is equal to negative y minus 2. So yung center mo is, vertex is 0, 2. So mga ganito banda ata. And then, negative siya. So pababa yung opening niya. So pa ganon. Yan. So the line that passes here and the line that passes here is also the boundary. So ito yung region mo. Okay. Ang problema natin is we will have to locate the intersection points para makuha natin yung kung anong line ito. Okay, let's double check. Ano yung intersection point ng dalawang parabolang to? Remember, ang sabi dito, y is equal to x squared. So, ibig sabihin, using this equation, this is x squared equals 2 minus x squared. Tama ba? So, if I transfer the negative x squared to the left, magiging positive x squared. So, that's 2x squared. So, this is equal to 2. So, x squared is equal to 1. Tama? Divide both sides by 2. And so, taking this, your x squared here is, your x now will be plus or minus 1. So, ibig sabihin, this is 1 and this is negative 1. I think we don't need the value of y here. So, let's say y sub 1 and y sub 2. We don't need the value of y kasi yung saan ba natin pinapa-revolve yung region natin? Line equals negative 2. So, pag ganun, di ba? So, we don't care about the y value in this case. So, kung kukuha ko ng rectangular strip dyan, yan, pag ganun siya. And then, it revolves on y equals negative 2. Sorry. So, mga ganito. So, ito yung line ko. Yan. So, dapat merong pag ganito, no? Pag ganito na region as a reflection here. So, pag ganyan. So, what will be now our volume? So, the volume of the solid is, this is now the limit. So, as your partition approaches 0, so this is the sum of your V sub i's. So, that is, there are n V sub I, so I from 1 to n. So, ano yung volume yun? So, that's pi. And then, ano yung gene-generate? So, yung una, yung up natin, which is 2 minus x squared. Tama? Pero gene-generate kasi siya along y equals negative 2. So, subtract natin yan ng negative 2. Tama ba? And this is squared minus, ano yung sa baba? Yung baba, eto na yung baba natin, di ba? So, the one that opens up, so this is x squared minus negative 2 kasi doon siya nag-generate sa negative 2. Squared. And that is dx. Kasi yung rectangular strip natin nakatayo, so yung width natin is this one. So, the change of x. So, that is delta of x sub I. So, if tatanggalin ko tong summation, magiging integral na to. So, that means this is pi times the integral. Yung interval natin, nakuha na natin, this is from 1 from negative 1 to 1. So this is negative 1 to 1 of, let us simplify this. Ano to? This is magiging positive. So meron tayong 4 minus x squared. So correct me if I'm wrong with my arithmetic. This is equal to 16 minus 8x squared plus x to the 4. Kayo nang bahala ha. Basic algebra na lang to, yung pagsisimplify ko nito. So I guess hindi naman mahirap. And then, this is, alam natin x squared plus 2 yan. So we have minus x to the 4, that is plus 4x plus 4 dx. So if I simplify this is pi integral from negative 1 to 1 of, makakancel na to, no? And then, what you left is negative 12x. Kasi negative 8x, eto magiging negative 4x. So, negative 12x squared. Yung 16 mo naman, positive, pero magiging negative 4 to kasi may negative sa labas. So, that's plus 12. Tama ba? Dx. So, this is equal to, how do I get the integral? So, this is pi of, di ba, this is negative 12 x to the 3 kasi plus 1 yung exponent over 3 plus 12x from negative 1 to 1. So, this is equal now to pi. That is negative 4x cubed. Tama ba? Plus 12x from negative 1 to 1. So, this is equal to pi times, substitute ko muna yung 1. So, this is equal to negative 4 ba? Plus 12. And then minus, substitute ko yung negative 1. This is 4 minus 12. And correct me if I'm wrong with my arithmetic, this is 16 pi cubic units. So, this is now the volume we are looking for. So, if you have any questions or clarification, please let me know. So what if instead of y equals negative 2, what if y equals 3 na yan? Okay, kunyari 3 siya. So pinapa-revolve natin siya sa taas, no? So let's draw this again. Pag ganun yung graph mo, di ba? Correct me if I'm wrong with my drawing, sorry. Kunyari, perfect yung drawing ko. So 1, 2, yan. So this is your region, and then this is your rectangular strip. So, mga nandito banda, yung line y equals 3. So, dito magre-revolve yung strip mo. So, may para ganun. Dito yung may puwang para magkakaroon ng another puwang here. And then, dito magsisimula yung strip mo. Okay, so how do you do that? So, simple lang, katulad ng ginawa natin. So, taking the volume, this is the limit of our partition approaches 0, and this is the sum of pi I from 1 to n of kasi pag ito yung aakyat, ito yung magiging natin ba? Ito na kasi yung up natin kasi dito iikot, di ba? So we have 3 minus, pag aakyat yan, ito yung pinakamataas. Tama ba? Pag ganun siya. So, bali, ito yung reflection niya. Lagyan ko ng red, ito yung reflection niya. Ito naman reflection niya. So, nasa taas pa kasi yung pag ganon. Ganon. So, ito yung taas na dito originally is baba. So, that is 3 minus x squared. Tama? Kasi it revolves on the 3 naman. Okay? Minus 3 minus 2 minus x squared. And that is the change of x sub I. So therefore, the integral here, labas ko muna yung pi. So it's still the same, negative 1 to 1 kasi wala namang nababago sa interval natin. Ito lang naman. Ganyan. And so this is equal to 9 minus 6x squared plus x to the 4. So ito yun, simplify natin to. Basic algebra na lang to ha. And then, itong taas kasi, this is, tama ba ako? This is 1 minus x squared. So if I simplify that, that will be 1 minus 2x squared plus x to the 4. Tama? Ay, plus pala to. So this becomes plus. And that is, this one becomes the dx. So simplifying it further, this is negative 1, 1. So, ano mangyayari? Yung x to the 4 natin is makakancel kasi. Negative 6x squared, ito magiging negative yan. So now we have negative 8x squared. Yan. So we have 9 minus 1. So we have plus 8 dx. So simplifying. So let's integrate this. Negative 8x cube over 3. Kasi magpa-plus 1 ka sa exponent, diba? Plus 8x. So evaluated from negative 1 to 1. So finally, we have pi times, unahin natin yung 1. So we have negative 8 over 3 plus 8. Yan. Minus, negative 1 na tayo. So magiging 8 over 3. Tama ba? Okay. Minus 8. Tama, no? So this becomes, ito makakancel to. Ay, hindi makakancel kasi parehong negative, no? So I have pi times negative 16 over 3. Mag-a-add tayo dyan. That becomes negative 16 over 3 plus 16. Review nyo yung arithmetic nyo. Basta yung nakukuha ko dito is 32 pi over 3 cubic units. Yan. So that's it. So if you have any question or clarification, please let me know. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or clarification, please let me know so that we can discuss on that. And for those who are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be updated on a lot of videos that I'll be uploading soon. Thank you and have a great day.